You know what? Everyone clap right now.
All
See how
right,
crisp it
so
is.
I guess how do we start this?
I guess the
There's-
definition of indie versus AAA
Alright,
again.
So indie games are, well, probably should start with AAA since that's the more complicated definition, right?
So
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
AAA is a type of rating for games. It is originally based off credit card ratings, in which AAA is the most likely to get you all your money back. It's kind of similar to AAA games being the most similar to get you the game developers' money back, game studios or publishers or whoever it is.
Oh,
Fair enough, I guess.
I'm recording some for a friend. Alright.
And then there's indie, which is just short for independent. Which is just the people who's making it are also the publishers. There's very little, if any, financial backing to it. People who are making it are also finances of it. But it's also good because they have total creative freedoms with it.
Wait. Hold on.
What?
We're talking points, right? We're doing talking points.
Yeah.
Let's get talking.
Yeah, I mean, I am.
Yeah. We hear your thoughts. Everyone speak up.
I want to know what the definitions of AAA versus
I
indie.
already know the other two's viewpoints, but
Yeah.
Vinny, what's your prefer from AAA or indie?
Alright, remind me what an indie game is. Like Undertale?
Yeah, Undertale's an indie game.
Oh, that's pretty
Undertale,
good.
Hollow Knight, Cuphead.
Let's not talk about Cuphead. That's the therapy session. About handling your
Therapy
rage.
session.
Nah, Cuphead's a good game, okay?
It's a good game. I'm not gonna lie, actually.
No, it's equivalent to getting over it. It's just testing your rage limiter.
No, it is a good game. Like it's the same thing. It's a good game. I'm gonna say that.
Even though it's like, oh yeah, it's a rage limiter, you can at least admit it looks beautiful, right?
It's a good game. I'm just saying it may piss you off.
That's your blood pressure.
like fair enough.
Doctor, we had the rage.
The thing because like Hollow Knight, right, is one of my favorite games when it comes to an indie game, right?
I've never played Hollow Knight.
It's a really good.
You need to. It's so.
It is a good game.
But what about Castle Crashers? Does that count as an indie game?
I'd say so.
Does it have a publisher? And like a big
Xbox.
budget?
Xbox.
That's just
Xbox.
more.
Well, Castle Crashers is also on PlayStation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation.
Like, does like Destiny, like Titanfall, had EA as the publisher and Respawn as the developers?
Yeah. I see that. But where does it fall under, though? That's my question.
I'm pretty sure it would just be indie.
Honestly, I think Castle Crashers is the best indie game. I've played that at least
That's
6
definitely
times.
not true.
It's you debate
It's
about
not true
that.
for any game. Like, it's hard to. I don't think you can quite call any game the best of all time definitively.
TF2.
Well, that's very opinionated because like.
Yeah.
TF2.
Which
Because you
we're not
can,
really here to
obviously you
discuss.
can, but like it's very opinionated.
Yeah, we're not here to discuss that. So we got Maury's opinion on it, and since this is a new podcast, Sweet Toad, mind giving your opinions, then I'll give mine.
You're dang right, I'm opinionated.
I usually prefer like AAA games because I like the quality that they bring, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to quality graphics, storytelling, like visually showing what's happening, and also the quality of gameplay sometimes,
Fair enough.
or for good or bad reasons, right?
Yeah.
If you look at one of my favorite game series, like Dark Souls, it's a AAA series since it's sponsored by Bandai, right?
Yeah.
And From Software puts, you can see that From Software puts real care in their games.
I mean, that can be said about a lot of developers.
I can't say that for AAA. They've messed up big time over some games, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Last of Us Part 2.
they have.
Really just
Yeah, Last of Us is an extreme case, right?
How many years was that in the works? Like 12?
A lot of years.
Yeah.
Basically since Last
I
of
mean,
Us 1.
I will defend Last of Us Part 2 only
Don't.
in that it is like a technical marvel, but it's an awful
It
game.
looks good. It looks good, right? Like, and the gameplay is actually pretty fun. Not gonna lie.
Spent
the
12
story-
years making grass look neat.
That's not
Yeah,
the point.
make the
Like,
grass look neat, whatever.
that's not the point. Like, the game is actually like good from a gameplay perspective, but the story is what's most important in a Last of Us game,
And they did not do that
Yeah.
well at all.
and they not do that well. For example, like Joel's death, like
No,
it's fine.
yeah, that was fine. I expected
No,
him
that
to
was
die.
not fine at all. Because like, it's not fine when it is only like 1 hour into the game.
Yeah, they put his
The-
death like in a weird spot.
Like
yeah.
you have to, if you're gonna kill off a main character like that, you have to set it up and make it justified, right?
It was a poor setup and everything.
Has to have
Yes.
like proper emotional impact and a good impact on the story, which they
Yes,
just didn't have.
exactly.
Oh, I was still sad he died, but like the way they did it was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, if they did it good, I would be fine with it, right?
Yeah.
Because like, I played Last of Us 2, I played it almost the entire way through, but every time I got to a cutscene, I got mad, right? But I was
Yeah.
happy, like, but during the gameplay, I was happy. It was genuinely a fun game to play.
Anyways, we're getting a bit off topic. Toad, what are your thoughts?
No, it's an EA game. We're fine.
Just more thoughts.
It kind
on
of just
it.
depends if I'm mood for. I can appreciate a really good AAA game, but for the most part, I'm just by myself and just want to kind of vibe out, and I love a good indie game.
Yeah.
'Cause indie games usually bring out like your best emotions.
That's
Yeah.
true. I do agree with that a bit.
Indie games seem to make weird fan bases. Very,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
That's a bit, yeah.
Hell,
I don't
take
know
your
about that.
Undertale. Really, you don't know about that?
No, I don't know about
less,
that.
less said, the better, sweet.
Yeah. Hey guys, check out
Bye.
check out Twitter and Reddit.
No,
that would be-
no.
Like, that would be the same,
Sorry,
like,
this is supposed
Dark
to
Souls
be an
having a weird
informative
community.
podcast. We're not trying to scar them.
Bro,
Well, look at your own discretion, I guess.
I looked up Undertale on Google at school, and I still found that kind of stuff.
Anyways, me personally, I find indie games to be better because it's smaller and they're a bit more niche, which is not a bad thing. It's a more focused experience, if you would.
Sure, like, I get your point, but like, if you want a more genuine opinion, right? Like, you can't say that the one is better than the other because all the games are different, right?
I'll put this.
It's
and-
like, because there's always gonna be cases where a AAA game is better than an indie game. There's always gonna be cases where an indie game is better than a AAA game, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It all depends on the devs and how good the publisher is that they have, or if they have a
Titanfall 2,
publisher at all.
Titanfall 2.
all right, here's my
Yeah,
comparison.
look at
against-
look at Titanfall 2. Like, that's an example of EA actually, like, giving the devs what they need in time.
Yeah, but it's also a case of the publisher doing bad because they released it between like two of the most anticipated games of the year,
Fine,
and then
but that
when
was
it
the
flopped, it's like, oh dang, this must mean it's a bad game.
but the problem is Titanfall it didn't flop really. Like, that's the problem with it.
You know, I'm getting from this, guys.
It didn't do as great as most games.
Indie games are like getting something from the flea market. AAA games are like getting something from a store. That's what I'm getting from this.
AAA games are the ones you could see a commercial on TV for.
Yeah,
But I'm kind of liking the flea market, not gonna lie.
Like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, the stuff you can buy at the store does have a higher quality overall, but the stuff you find in the flea market could just be a lot more special and more handcrafted.
All right, I guess.
Like, you're never gonna find handmade cookies at the grocery store.
So no, apparently Crash Crashers is a indie game. Apparently.
Makes sense. Just relatively small speaking.
Small.
Games.
What?
No.
I'd
And
say
speaking in terms of games, more.
that's pretty big.
like the games currently I play just to chill is games like Monster Hunter, a AAA game actually,
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's actually a good example of a game that's actually really good.
Is Evolve an indie game or is that?
It was a AAA.
It was a AAA, but they went free to play, but the game has flopped pretty badly.
It was fun though. So with that,
Yeah,
Like Monster, to go back to that for a second, is like a great example of like what AAA games are capable of, and if they were all like that, no one would ever play indie games. But they're not. Is the thing.
And if you look at each Monster Hunter game that has come out, it has been received well in Japan, right? Because it's popular in Japan. It wasn't until World came out it got popular in the West.
I think that just may be a cultural thing there.
Yes. Like some games are gonna be popular somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
you're right. What was that game?
And I can come up with other examples, AAAs that did good on release. Like look at Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 15. Like most Square Enix games does it pretty good on their initial release date.
Here it is,
But-
Square Enix.
Yes.
I feel like with indie games, they have the most amount of blow up. When it comes to worldwide or nationwide or anything like that, everybody's
Indie
heard
games
of
live fast and
Undertale.
die.
Everybody's heard of Cuphead. Especially Undertale. Everybody's heard of that game. It's hard to find somebody who's not. As long as they're fucking third world country.
Like way back when Minecraft was still ruling the world, it was still an indie game.
Yeah,
but
so-
it's more of
everybody's
an
playing Minecraft.
exception, not the rule.
What do you want?
So-
It still is.
So has anybody here played like Counter Strike, right? Everybody knows what
Yeah.
Counter Strike is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So did you
played
know
it,
that originally it was a Swedish game?
How?
Isn't Valve a Swedish company?
No, like the CS was developed by actually two people in the beginning.
I
It was
didn't know
developed
that.
by it was developed by two people, so it was technically in the game. And when Valve saw the value in it, they bought it from them for a couple of million.
Oh, so the developer just made it himself.
No, they didn't. It was technically a Half-Life 2 mod in the beginning,
Oh yeah.
or no, Half-Life 1.
It seems like
maybe.
everything's a Half-Life.
Yeah, Gmod. Yeah.
And since the guys that made it technically owned it, they had to buy the IP off them.
I don't know why.
But yeah, that's interesting. I did not know that.
So Counter-Strike was a indie game from the beginning. It technically
It
is
is.
because it still technically is, right? But like Valve is basically publishing their own game these days.
Alright, so I want to move on to the next question.
I'm done.
The pros and cons of indie versus AAA, which we kind of were already talking about in a sense.
Yeah.
Figured it would be good to officially segue to that.
Pros and cons.
Like the
The
pros.
pro, you're never gonna find a pro with an indie, with AAA, or actually no. This would be the con for indie is you'll never find the
marketing.
amount of servers, the marketing. You're never gonna have the amount of
Yeah.
content as a
Yes.
AAA.
The content thing's debatable.
No,
Content is debatable, I would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the game too a bit, and on the devs.
Yeah.
I feel like AAA games squander the amount of money they have. They could put a lot of work into the games they make, and they do, but they just don't have the right mental capacity to. Oh crap! To know what to do with it. Crap. Unlike indie games,
What?
they do it themselves, and they usually
Yeah.
do pretty good. Hold on.
Say that again.
What's a bad indie game?
Like you can't call
That's
that
actually-
in the game
yeah,
bad. That's the
It's
that's
hard
the
to find a bad indie game.
Yeah, because like
Or
it's
I
one
guess
of the good
an
things about
overwhelming
indie games.
bad
The bad
game.
ones just don't actually blow up. It's hard to find the
Yeah,
bad
it's
ones.
easy to find a bad AAA because they've had the marketing behind them and they've had the
Yeah, and it's like-
exposure.
Like they can still swim purely based on like who's putting them out there.
They boasted their trash until they put it out.
Yeah.
Actually,
Like,
yeah.
hey, look at this awesome thing we made. It's great, isn't it?
No.
But just like our other stuff which you've loved. and then when everyone finally buys it, they realize, oh wait, no, it isn't as good. It's a lie.
And
But
you
then
get-
they've already made their money.
you make it
Like
5 cents
mobile
back in
games
GameStop.
is actually a good example of AAA games that like AAA scams.
That's a
Yeah.
It's an example.
Mobile
of
games aren't
Anthem,
real games.
actually.
We all know that.
Remember Anthem?
That's
Oh, Anthem.
Anthem. I bought that
It
on
has
release.
so much potential.
I regret everything. Like, and when the devs promised to like keep developing on the game and nothing has happened yet.
Yeah.
So
Oh
sad.
no, Anthem got cancelled. Like they are
yeah,
no
it
longer
got-
doing anything to it.
Yeah, like, but there wasn't no official cancellation, from what I know. They have stopped developing on it.
What a waste of everyone's time.
That's so
Yep.
true, because they promised so much to develop it, but nothing happened. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look at the games that's had a rough again, like look at Battlefield from what it was and what it became.
You're right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, that's a pretty cool shovel. Okay, let's see. Sorry. What?
Another thing is just the budgets, which sounds obvious considering that AAA is just like, yeah, they have big budgets, but like when they do actually put that budget to good use, you can tell.
Yeah, of course. Like, so guys, remember Destiny 1 at release? If anyone here played it at release,
I haven't.
I
So
did. Destiny 1 I did.
you should look up the budget they had for Destiny 1, and you're gonna be shocked on the budget.
It was huge, wasn't it?
It was huge. And,
Yeah,
and the amount
the
of
problem
and the
with
amount
Destiny
of
is
time.
that they changed what it was going to be at the very last
So,
second.
when did Halo Reach come out? Because they have been working on Destiny since Halo Reach.
Really?
Yes, they had.
I'll look that up. You guys keep discussing.
Yeah, do look at them. Look up when Halo Reach came out and look up the budget for Destiny 1. And you'll see like the shocking amount of money they had, and they
Hey, Halo
like,
Reach came out in
spectacularly failed.
2010.
Yeah,
I didn't
they
even
worked
know.
on. So they worked on They worked on Destiny for 4 years approximately, right? And they had a full staff, a full Bungie staff that.
Yeah,
all
Bungie-
hands on deck.
Destiny took $140 million.
Yeah, you see,
Right.
like you see but it's insane, and they had backing from Activision, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day. And they promised a lot, and in the end they cut things from the game, and sold it separately as DLCs, like the Dark Below and House of Wolves DLC.
Yeah. Well, Destiny was also going to be a linear story until about
Yeah,
a year
from the
before it got
beginning,
released. Yeah, until about a year before it got released, and then they changed their minds.
I entirely forgot you guys were playing Minecraft. I gotta join in.
I mean, feel free to.
Yeah. Or should I play VR Minecraft? You guys play the normal.
Nah, just join in mine. Just join in this world. Alright, the next question. Where is it? Yeah, how do indie games and AAA like all manage their like everything really, like their time, their budgets?
Well, they
How
put
they,
their
you know, spend all that
developers on a tight leash while not giving them too much money. That's what usually happens.
Yeah.
And they poop out crap as expected. Indie games,
Well, it depends on the publisher really,
yeah.
like EA.
Yes.
Indie games, you don't really know about what's happening until it's already out. So, you know, who knows what the budget is.
Yeah. I mean, indie games generally have to use Patreon to get their budget.
Yeah.
Or
Like-
Kickstarter.
Like, let's take a second to talk about like the music. Let's say.
When
Like,
it comes to music, soundtracks, like when it comes to AAA games, music, they will beat anything. When it comes to music, if you
Yeah.
ask me.
I can't agree with that.
Bro, MCU, every time they got a movie, they keep like one's the luckiest or that song, they keep playing it every time.
Yeah, I can't agree with that. Or when it comes to just songs that you'll look up on Spotify and that you'll actually listen to daily, yeah, maybe AAA, but indie games are always, or a good indie game is always good with finding a song that
Yeah.
fits the
Like,
mood so perfectly.
Yeah, they don't need a like super massive like orchestra to get their stuff done.
That's weird.
Like if they had one, it'd be one of the better songs of all time. But since they'll still get the job done without it.
Yeah, the thing is, AAA games don't need that either. If we're gonna be real here,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But they do have
Yeah.
access to it.
they have
and
access
tend
to it,
use
of course. So, like, there's no reason not to use it if you have access to it.
Cuphead's probably my favorite indie game, and then Red Dead's probably my favorite game in general. But one thing that everybody loves about Cuphead is that every single boss fight is different with its music, and every single one of them fits it, while also still
Yeah.
fitting the theme of a 1920s movie.
That and it's all hand drawn.
Yeah, and it's all hand drawn,
Like,
and you
every
can just
single
really
thing
tell
in Cuphead is hand drawn.
everything about Cuphead. You can just see the passion.
All their hands must be broken. Christ.
For real.
Yeah.
They poured their rage into the game and it came out nicely.
I mean, yeah,
That's what I
basically
feel about Dark Souls too. With Dark Souls overall, to be honest, and any From Software game.
it. Go build a house.
That fish got thick.
Go build a house more.
But now we need to get furniture in my house.
Don't worry, I got your furniture.
And like, let's take a look at let's talk about level building for a sec. Like, what's your favorite level in all gaming?
Stop it, stop it. Stop it, the fish
Yeah,
in
Maury,
my...
just build a damn house. But, so to all of you, what's your favorite level in any game you've ever played?
Oh, that's hard. That's
Mm.
hard.
Fast
For me,
crashes.
personally, it's either Effect and Cause from Titanfall or the Clockwork Mansion from Dishonored.
Oh, that's so hard. Like,
I have a lot of nostalgia on Borderlands 2.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
fair.
Yeah, Borderlands.
Probably, maybe like the very first mission of Borderlands 2, just because I have a lot of nostalgia for
The
it.
nostalgia factor.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
like one of my favorite quests within Borderlands is actually when you shoot a bandit in the face.
Oh yeah, Facebook
That
shooting.
was a great one.
Shoot me in the face!
No, come here.
Yeah, like you'd never find that in like nowadays, which yeah, old games are better. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah, sweet. Come here. Sweet, come on, follow
But
me.
one of my favorite levels is probably Silent Cartographer in Halo MC.
What is that one?
It is the open level in Halo MC. Halo MC. Combat Evolved CE. I mean CE. It's a further mission in Combat Evolved.
What's so good about it?
I don't know, the freedom, I guess, because Halo 1 is a linear game, right? And when you get that freedom, and when you get into a warthog with a bunch of marines, like, it's like, I don't know, it feels pretty good. It's beautiful too, especially on the remastered version. I don't know, like, for me, I've been playing that series for 20 years. I don't know if it's nostalgia for me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just shoot, go build your own house.
No, I want you to look at this.
Yes, I know, it's the pufferfish.
No, not that. Follow me.
Like, is there a carpet that you can put down in your house?
Yeah, there is.
I need to find a carpet.
Look at this amazing landform right here.
Oh yeah, that's the new cave generation.
Yeah, I love it. And also, this pool right here. It's so deep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
How about you, Toad? What's your favorite level?
Probably the opening level of Borderlands 2.
Oh yeah,
that.
that's a good one. Like,
Come on.
Claptrap, awesome.
Yeah, it just gets you right into it, and it's still very confused on what's going on, but
Oh,
instead of the game
Age of
just
War was
answering its
amazing.
questions, it just fucking
Like, I don't have time to explain. I don't have
Make
time.
jokes and
Let's
make
get
fun
going.
of you, and it's just great.
Also, I find that indie games tend to have a better sense of humor than AAA.
Yeah.
And I want to say that I want to say that Gearbox was an independent company at the time whenever they made Borderlands 2, but
They were
it
not.
might not be. They weren't? Okay, yeah, so that was
They
AAA.
were not.
That's also probably one of my favorite games.
Alright. Mine was Castle Crashers, and it was just it's like at the boss level. There's just a room full of everybody you killed during the game is being revived. Hey Dad, thanks. Thanks for the chicken.
That is
I'm recording for him.
wow, that's interesting.
Every enemy you ever killed during the game is in one level, and you have to fight them all when this guy revives them. It's a incredibly fun level, and also very hard.
Figures. Like it's literally every person you kill up in the game up to that point.
Like, and now I actually came up with a level or a story mode actually. Recently, like the Destiny 2 Beyond Light, I actually enjoyed that story.
Wait, Beyond Light was a great story.
Yeah, like because Aramis is now my favorite Fallen character, right? And I enjoy the cutscenes with her a lot.
Alright, next question.
Alright, let's talk about how they handle balance. Like game balance.
The game balance, that's a
That's
tough one
what-
actually.
yeah.
That depends actually from game to game, or if there's any microtransactions in the game or something like that.
Yeah.
Pick 5 random games and check their balance.
Like if you look at a bad example from a AAA game like Battlefront 2, right when it came out, that was straight up pay to win when it came out. But I don't know, like the balancing some other AAA games like Final Fantasy, it's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like it's unfair. I feel like so it varies. I don't think that has anything to do with AAA or indie game, if you ask me.
Yeah, fair enough.
But usually indie games doesn't have microtransactions, so I guess.
And if they do, it's almost always just cosmetics.
I remember Zoglin's a thing.
They got out in another update.
I mean, I've never seen them. I've seen.
Oh yeah, no, it's just they're really hard to find. You gotta get a hog into the overworld. Alright, let's... How about keeping in touch with our community? Who do you think does that better?
EA does not.
Because me,
listen
I
at
think...
all.
Indie, all the way.
Yeah, easily indie.
It's hard to find a AAA game that'll listen to its community instead of just saying, well, they already bought the game, so...
Well,
Looks to
on
be the-
recent occasions, I think actually 343 has listened pretty good to the community so far.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, but that's a one example. It's hard to find a game company that's like
Yeah.
that, where it'll listen to the complaints and it'll update consistently. And only time they really update is, I mean, you can look at Rockstar, for example. The only time they ever update is if it makes them money.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't.
true.
They won't
Uh,
fix any balance patches.
Well,
But
well,
the
if
second
you
that there's a
look
money
at
glitch.
if you look at some free-to-play options like Warframe, right? Warframe is technically indie, right? But
Yeah.
it's pretty much grown into a AAA title.
Yeah.
Because they
That's well
constantly listen
deserved.
to like they listen to the community. They don't listen to the entire community, not the end game players at least. But
It seems like they do listen to the in-game players a lot.
I don't think they do because they only cater to new players. Because that's what gives them money in the end.
Because the in-game players already have everything.
So because there's not much endgame content within Warframe, but there's
Yeah.
always content and new content that's good for new players, right?
Alright, how about, who do you think cares more?
Indeed.
Because it's... Yeah,
It's
easily.
probably
Yeah.
in indie companies all the way, if you ask me.
Yeah. Like, there's definitely some, like, AAA companies who, like, really do care about the small attention to details, like Capcom with Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
Like,
Capcom and even Bungie back in the day when with Halo.
it just seems like it's really fallen off for AAA games. Like, the care of, oh yes, these are the details. You gotta, if people are gonna notice these guys, it just doesn't seem like that anymore.
So I'm out here making paths to my neighbors so I can walk from my house, from my lake house, to your places.
Nice.
A little beach house.
I have candles.
Yeah, I'm not done with the inside of it, but
That's our house going, Maury.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't have a house.
Hey, I wouldn't
he's
call-
homeless.
I call
He's
it roommate,
homeless at this
if
point.
anything. Like, I'd live here in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but still, you haven't been building a house.
I can build him something, alright? Alright?
I just watched this Hogland just destroy a chicken.
Like,
Nah,
like,
that's Zoglin.
it feels pretty good chilling in this game after we've been
Yeah.
farming a lot in other games. So
That's kind of just Minecraft for you.
And I guess that's the beauty of indie games. I mean, Minecraft is probably the most indie AAA game there is.
yeah,
I'm
Minecraft
missing
is
the
definitely one of
details.
the best games of all time.
Yes.
It is like, if any game deserves that title, it's Minecraft. Yes, Molly?
Let's make a rainbow flag but out of candles.
Hey, you can work on that.
yeah. Do not put candles by my place. Do not stop putting candles by my place. Stop it. I'm here putting stuff here.
But yeah, to go back to the question for a bit, when's the last time you heard about a AAA dev putting a mortgage on their house so that they could keep working on their game?
Not recently, actually.
Happy birthday.
Like, I'm actually surprised to see how this looks at night time. But yeah, but going back to the thing, I don't know, not in recent memory at least.
Because I vividly remember, I think it was the Cuphead devs who had to do it.
Okay, hold on. Little.
Well, one thing I liked when it comes to AAA studios, I like that Microsoft pushed Halo Infinite 1 extra year to give it more time. Because if it had came out in the state that they shown at E3, people would not be happy at all.
Although, to be fair, that is a rare occasion. Most publishers do just say, it's our he said, we've already pushed it back a few times, we're just releasing it now. We'll patch the bugs later. And then they never patch the bugs.
Like a good example where it's not the publisher's fault, it's actually Anthem with BioWare. That was totally BioWare's fault. Because they gave them 7 years to develop the game.
Yeah.
If you're any
swapped lead developers twice.
if you're any publisher at that time, you want your game.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, yes or no? Do you guys know how long Anthem was in pre-development before they started developing for real?
No idea.
6 years. Out
So
of
it
those 7
took
years.
roughly 13. Oh wait, what?
Yeah, so they developed it for 7 years, but they were in pre-development for 6 years. So they put together that game in less than a year.
Yeah, you can tell if you've ever seen.
That
games that
explains
do
the
it.
state it came out in.
Yeah. Barely.
And that's totally
broken.
BioWare's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, build that house.
I don't know anything on this. What are your thoughts?
He's like, no.
Wait, your thoughts are staring at everything with two binoculars.
I need to find myself a furnace. No, fuck you.
Alright, this looks like the last question I had. What do you think of the future of gaming? How do you think it's going?
I don't know actually.
Downhill.
No.
Oh god.
Not quite yet, Xander.
Also,
You're welcome to hop in.
yeah. You are a welcome guest. My thoughts. Let's look for what most recent 10 games, unless the beta is going downhill or not.
And some projected games. And for me personally, I'm not optimistic.
Let's see if we're getting easier over time or just.
And
Yeah,
I think
like,
as
for AAA, they're definitely getting lazier.
and I think as we're getting older, right, it's gonna be hard finding games that are as good as what we played.
Or what we remember playing.
Yes.
So, is that a new mod value?
That's usually why people quit playing games. Actually,
Yeah.
just
Fair enough.
Guys, what's that called? What's the name called again?
What thing?
What?
The one mod is?
Oh, Warden? Oh, I don't think.
Oh,
it's
not
in
yet. No.
Really?
Yeah, Minecraft's taking the time for that update.
It's
but
really
there are
weird.
some games
Mob.
that I played that people do not like actually. That I like. That people's gonna have always have different opinions on games, right? But
It's you know the nature of it.
Yeah, so
There's going to be disagreements.
of course,
Oh. The caves, they're nice.
They're really nice.
That's another diamond.
But I'm not very optimistic for AAA, but pretty optimistic for indie because indie games have been getting better as time goes on.
yeah. I'm always gonna be optimistic because like in the end, I want my game series to succeed and
Yeah.
grow.
Only really AAA thing I kind of trust is Valve. Because they
Yeah,
take their
but Fair
time.
Valve is
Yeah.
they do take their time. You can definitely say
Yeah,
that.
what
much.
about the card game?
Just about to mention that, like they only had one bad thing.
And after Halo Infinite, I'm actually
I mean,
more
you gotta
optimistic
mention
now.
Artifact
kinda
was
like-
it.
Yeah, Halo Infinite has definitely done good for my optimism.
Yeah,
levels.
like after Halo 4 and Halo 5, I'm very optimistic right now because I haven't played a good Halo since Halo 3, right?
I think with everything, things are the same way where there's gonna be good and bad, but I think there's probably gonna be a start decline in single player games. I think single player games is a dying single player and co-op are definitely dying off, sadly,
Yeah,
as multiplayer is making the most amount of money.
Yes,
even with
that's
Halo
that's
Infinite,
the
for example?
that's the problem. Where like
me
Halo,
personally, I don't remember the last game that had couch co-op.
Yeah, it's hard to
Like-
come by, which sucks.
Yeah.
I remember the outrage when Halo 5 came out and when it did split screen, people were mad.
Yeah, there's
Right, so-
running out of split screen, which
I just
sucks.
may have asked a question I've thinking about for a while. Will there be any remakes of Army of Two? And I'm thinking no.
Like if
I
you do a
have no
remake
idea what
of
Army
Army of 2, that is the definition of a split screen game, if you
Yeah.
ask me.
Like it's like designed to be played at the couch with friends.
I don't see any remakes of that coming out anytime
Okay,
soon.
really the only like games I can think of that are like split screen co-op
Bless you.
is like fighting games, and even then that doesn't count.
I mean, like most fighting games are pretty good actually when it comes to like PS3 gen and PS4 gen, right?
But
And
they're
really-
fighting games. Like not a lot of people really don't like fighting games.
And believe me, like if you play with friends, you can have fun with fighting games, and you can say that for most games, right? But
Or
Oh, yeah, I'm
hate
not
friends.
saying you can't have fun with them. I'm just saying it's not for everyone.
yeah, that's true.
I usually get negativity when I play fighting games with friends.
Like When it comes to fighting games, I like. I don't like Mortal Kombat, right?
I'll be
I've,
right back.
Yeah, too bloody for my taste.
I've never. No, I just don't like the gameplay, right? Of Mortal Kombat. But I like Dragon Ball. I always loved Dragon Ball.
Oh,
Yeah,
those are fun.
Dragon Ball.
It's Dragon Ball, right? Like, I grew up with it and I love the games. They're fun. And I like Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive is an awesome game. Like, usually anime games are pretty good for some reason. Like,
Depends.
it depends,
on the
it depends, right? But like, it's a very niche taste you have to have to play those kind of
Yeah.
games.
Those Brawlhalla EA game.
Brawlhalla is a fighting game and indie game, yeah.
Alright, yeah. That's pretty fun.
That's a very good game, actually.
Bro, what do you want to Brawlhalla right now?
Later.
Alright.
I think that's all the questions we got. Y'all have anything else to say?
I don't have much to say, actually. Anything you want to conclude on?
Not off the top of my head.
This is a shout out to Valve.
Sure,
Fix
sure.
TF2. We got enough of these bots, man.
Quite more. This is about you. Yeah, we just finished it off. Any final statements you want us to share?
Got really one statement.
Follow me on Twitter. No.
No, like,
No, not really.
My dad makes pretty
Like-
good chicken. That's pretty good. Shout out.
we can finish off with saying what we like the most, real quick.
Hey, I guess that's fair. Me personally, for games, I just like the community you can get.
I agree with that. I'm actually
Yeah,
gonna,
that's a very good one.
gonna share that opinion with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know, I'm gonna agree with that as well.
So I went in a cave and came out in another village.
Caves are busted, Maury.
Yep.
Good way.
And I'm in another village. I'm trying to head back.
Alright, if we're done, I'm gonna hop back onto Destiny. I think it'd probably be good for you though, if you get a shot of like all
yeah.
the houses.
Yeah, fair enough. Mostly just the building houses for background footage. And yeah, Maury, feel free to cut it.
Cool. What?